Good evening, folks. Welcome to Bonnie and Clyde's Evening Talk. Morning, evening talk, morning, move to the evening talk. Today's date, 8/14/2020, TGIF Friday. Thanks for joining us. We sure do appreciate you. Let's have a look and see what all went down in the market, how it finished out. And it looks like, let me hit this refresh. I thought everything was down. This is showing that the Dow actually finished up just a tad little bit. So we'll go with it then. We'll say the Dow finished up 0.12%. And everything else was in the red. Crude oil down, gold down, silver down. Silver dropped off another 4.25% today, but managed to stay over $26. So even though it came down quite a little bit, still not in too bad of a shape. That's just the way it goes, though. I mean, you think about it, wasn't that long ago, and we was all the way down to $13, so we've come a long ways. So it's actually still holding on pretty good. The naysayers will jump all over it and say, I told you so, I told you so. But the truth is, it's still doubled from just a short time back. And let's have a look and see exactly where we finished up for today over in Bonnie and Clyde's portfolio. 3.77% to the good. So we got back that little bit we took a beating on the other day. So that's awesome. So we'll take it into the weekend. Always a positive. When you're in the green going into the weekend, it makes you feel better about it. Don't have a whole lot of news on coins today, but let's go over here to Twitter land before I talk about coins, what I want to talk about, and take a look in Twitter land and see exactly what Bonnie and Clyde's coin of the day was. The coin of the day from Bonnie and Clyde was a 1932D Washington quarter with a mintage of 436,800. That was the first year of that Washington design, and that obverse and reverse run from 1932 to 1998. It's a nice old silver coin. And let's go over and see NGC's coin of the day. Actually, a nice coin. I like their coin of the day. The Oregon Territory. It was the Oregon Trail Memorial $50. And it was struck from 1926 to 1939. And they've got a picture of the 1926. Really nice coin. NGC's coin of the day. And now let's get into the big news. The big bad news. Coin collecting is about ready to take a real big turn. And guys, we're in trouble. Bad news was the Federal Reserve has already put out news now. And this is exactly what nobody really wanted to see. because here gets ready to go every bit of everybody's privacy if this goes out the window. If this goes, throw your privacy out the window. You won't even be able to go shop at a yard sale without the government knowing about it. Federal Reserve reveals research plans for digital dollar. And that's pretty much all I needed to say right there. And that's the headline coming from Forbes magazine. The U.S. Central Bank digital currency, also described in the United States as a digital dollar. So that means that they're working on it. I heard this bad news this morning. It was actually put out yesterday. And if they get this to successfully go through, we won't have to worry about collecting change anymore because there won't be any. We won't have to worry about collecting dollars anymore because there won't be any. We won't have to worry about coin collecting whatsoever because there won't be any. Except for what's in existence right now. And they won't be worth anything but just a piece of scrap. That's all it'll be. It won't be worth nothing anymore. The only thing that'll be worth anything will be the actual silver and gold that'll be in those coins. Anything other than that will be worthless. Good evening in the chat. I hope you're doing well too. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what's getting ready to happen, guys. If they go through with this, you can kiss coin collecting goodbye. This is the worst news that the coin collection business, coin collector hobby could ever want to hear, and they're trying to make it happen. Like I said, if you want to read this article, just go right over to Forbes magazines. You can probably click it into about any search engine, Twitter, anywheres. And you will find out that the Federal Reserve reveals research plans for digital dollar. There it is, folks. They finally decided to pull it out. Everybody fell for this pandemic stuff. So they said, well, they fell for that. They're going ahead. They're wearing their masks. They're going to go ahead and get their vaccines. They're going to roll up their sleeves. They're already fighting each other over everything. So let's go ahead and spring the digital dollar on them. Boy, oh boy, are we in trouble. And now that they've said that, I look for it to happen really, really, really fast. They don't say anything and just put it off like that. Most of the time when they come out with something, it's like, bam, look how fast we went from hearing about that virus to actually your neighbor getting mad at you for not wearing a mask. That was real quick. Oh, but anyway, that's about all I got on the coin stuff. I had some other coin news to talk about, but I don't even know if it's even going to do any good. Because once this comes into effect, there won't be any more coins. There's maybe part of hollering about how they was getting low on circulation was just rounding them up, rounding all the loose change up. Who knows? All right, guys, let's go over and take a look at the weather, see if we can find something good to talk about here. Let's see what we got. It looks like we got some heat out in Arizona once again. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. 114 degrees in Maricopa, Arizona. Woof. Nice and warm out there. That's the hot spot for the day. Where's that cool spot for the day? Where's the air conditioner at? Who's got the air conditioner today? And it looks like we've got Pleasant View Farm in Oldmont, Montana, 68 degrees. Northern Montana checking in with a frigid 68 degrees. They don't need the air conditioner there. Looks like we got another piece of a cold front that's moved down into North Dakota also. So it looks like Canada, the cold air is starting to push down out of the north already. A lot of that area over there barely got into the summer heat, and now it looks like they're going to start cooling down again already. And let's jump over to the East Coast and look at the temperatures. Looks like we've got 80s up and down the East Coast with the low 90s down in southern Florida. And then as we travel over towards the Mississippi River, we got 70s in the Louisiana at the Gulf Coast, high 70s, low 80s. And I think it's just because of storms keeping the temperature cool right there. Because as you head north through Arkansas, Missouri, it gets back up into the low 90s. And then as you go farther north, you get into the low 80s, high 70s, all the way up into northern Wisconsin. And as we head out into the flatlands, we start Minnesota in the mid 80s, coming south through the flatlands. We got Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas in the high 80s, and then Oklahoma and Texas coming in the high 90s, and parts of Texas over 100 degrees, close to 110. And then we head out to the mountain time zone. We know that hot spot come out in Arizona, New Mexico pushing hot weather, 90s in the high 90s, Utah in the high 90s. And then as we head north, Wyoming and Montana, things start to cool down into the low 80s, and in northern Montana into the low 70s. And that one cool spot up there in northern Montana. Out on the west coast, Washington State coming in the low 70s. And then as you head south, you start getting into some warmer weather. Northern California seems to have warmed up a little bit, around the high 90s. And as you come down through California, Southern California, they've got a little cool air right there. Seems like they're in the low 90s, high 80s. And while we're out here on the West Coast, we'll take a look at the precipitation. Looks like there's scattered stuff around the West Coast. And the majority of the rain looks like it's over in Minnesota, parts of Nebraska and Iowa, like we said earlier, down in Louisiana, Florida, the whole East Coast, from Florida to Louisiana to Kentucky to Pennsylvania. The whole East Coast seems to be covered in the chance of rain. And in southern Michigan also, southeastern part of Michigan. And then as you head up through New York, up through the Maine, it looks like you got chances of rain spotty here and there. So that's it for the weather, guys. I hope it's beautiful wherever you all are. That's the main thing. Hopefully something good is going on in your neighborhood. And here we go. We got another article to finish out the day, guys. Let me take a look over to the chat. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. She's been busy, I'm not sure, my friend. I'll check and make sure she's been getting your message or whatever. I'll ask her about it in a little while. I haven't really. I know we've been really busy. We got a we got a news article that we gotta do next week. The news station wants to do an article on coins and stuff, but I don't think it's gonna matter though with the Federal Reserve coming out with all this digital dollar. I don't think coin collecting is gonna go very much further. We're about to the end of our rope with it. Silver and gold will still be alright, copper. But once they do away with the coins and physical money, we are through. All right, let's finish out this with a good article here. It said police officer saves man's life seconds before the train passes by. And I did see this article. It was a 66-year-old man whose wheelchair was stuck on the tracks, and a police officer in Lodi, California was the one that saved the man. The man suffered a leg injury, was taken to the hospital, but he is alive because of Officer Ura's heroic act. And it said the rescue was captured on the officer's body cam. So that's an awesome little story right there, that the guy in the wheelchair was saved by an officer that was getting ready to get taken out by a train. Awesome job. I'm sure the gentleman in the wheelchair is really thankful. So we thought that deserved to be the end and good story of the day for this episode. Thanks for joining us, guys. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And we will talk to you guys again Monday, off for the weekend. So we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Happy hunting. Stay safe. And until then, we'll see you later.